Alright, welcome back to the solution videos for the Marquette ACM and UPE programming competition. We're on to question 4, which is about Morse code. It's a simple prompt. You just have to decode Morse code, essentially. You're going to be passed in Morse code strings like this, where you have a series of dots and dashes, which correspond to letters. Each letter is separated by a space. The actual spaces, like the words themselves, are separated by slashes, so a slash basically corresponds to a space. And then you're also instructed to leave any other characters that aren't Morse in the output. So an exclamation point, such as at the end of this test case, we're going to leave that in the output. So we're going to be writing our solution in this code skeleton right here, and well, let's get to it. Okay, so the input is going to be coming in this Morse variable right here, and then we just have to assign our answer to the answer variable right here. So first off, we'll just start with a blank screen, or blank string for the answer, and then we're going to have to basically essentially go through each letter of the input, or each section of the input, I suppose. You'll notice that all of the letters are separated by spaces. So there's a space between that letter there and that letter there. So each of these symbols up here are going to be separated by spaces, as well as there's a space between the letters and the slashes, and the letters and any other special characters like these exclamation points. So everything's being separated by spaces. A really easy way to get all those things into like an array, for example, all the different pieces, is to use a split method. So the output of this split method is going to be a string array where all the elements of this array are the different pieces. So we'll call this like the parts of the Morse string, and all you have to do is morse.split and then give it the thing that comes in between all of the parts of your string. So since spaces separate all of our letters in our Morse string, we just pass it a space as the string that we're separating by. So now parts is an array containing all of the parts of Morse that we have to decode, and we just have to loop through it and convert them all to the appropriate Morse representation, or rather what the Morse represents. Okay, so we can just do that with a simple for loop. We can go through each part in parts, and then we can just have a bunch of if statements. So let's start with the special situation first of if our part is a /, we know that that is a space. So we want to add a space to our answer. Then after that, we can essentially just go through this table up here and have an if statement for each of these pieces here. So if it's a dot dash, then we convert it to an A. If it's a dash dot dot dot, then we add a B onto the answer string, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So else if part that equals, we don't need that part, dot dash, then we want to add a onto the end of our answer so far. Else if part that equals dash dot dot dot, then we want to add on a B to the end of our answer string, etc., etc. So I'll go through and do the rest of these letters just so that we don't have to type them all out. Alright, there we go. So I've written in all of the letters here, just in the same form that we did for the A and B. The very last thing is that if it's none of these, we just want to add on the part. So if it's like an exclamation point, we'll just put the exclamation point in as is. Alright, so let's test this out. We can run it, and we can use the test cases that we had on the sheet just to test some things out. So the first one was R, awesome. The second one was hello world, that works. And then the last one was Dark Lord Xenu sends his regards. That's quite a long one. There we go, and the exclamation point made it through as well, and we have to see that our spaces are working as well. Alright, so that's how you do problem 4.